on this computer. There we go. I'm going to mute everybody because they're loud, and I'm going to unmute you again, Kristina. So 1 second, unmute. Okay, cool. So guys, we have Kristina on the call tonight. I know that she's super funny because she asked me to do her call, like, when was that, last week?
Yeah.
She was like, I've been wanting to trade calls with you for like weeks and months, and I just haven't asked because I'm, such a baby. And I'm like, you talk to people you don't know all the time. Like, you're clearly killing it in this business. Like, you couldn't ask, hey, do you want to do a call for me? So I asked back. We're doing a call together. We met each other actually after the elite party out at Leadership, and we went to Britney Spears together, which was like super fun. She also spoke at Leadership because they asked her to, because she's kicking butt in her challenge groups, you guys. She just recently went 10-star, right? She's a 3-star in her second business center. She is an SE10 legend, and she's a mom of 3 kiddos, twin boys, which cannot be easy. And she's kicking butt. And I don't know if you heard her national wake-up call a few weeks back, but she talked about how she sort of didn't like the inviting process of this business, and how she made it her own so that she could be successful. So I kind of didn't give her a topic. I just asked her to jump on and chat with you guys about whatever the hell she felt like chatting about. So I'm going to kind of just let you run with it. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself. Sound good?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I'm pumped to be on here because I did. Joan was like, I forced myself after my first year of coaching to talk to 1 to 2 scary people a month that I was like scared of, that intimidated me. And Joan was like on my list for like ever. And then finally I was like, will you do a call with me? And she agreed. So I'm super pumped that she asked for me to speak to you guys too. I am very fly off the cuff. I'm not scripted. I really struggle when people like ask me to present. Like, I don't do PowerPoints or anything like that. That gives me anxiety. But I did like put some notes so I stayed on track. And I just wanted to do kind of like tips that I give. And it's something you're probably going to hear 5 million times. It's just sometimes you hear it that different way and it kind of clicks with you. Or I can say things in a way that Joan can't. Because you guys are going to take offense to it if Joan says it. But if I call you out on it, then it's like, oh, and it's probably what Joan wants to say and she just won't say it to you. So like, I'm going to be the bad cop for a second, because I'm going to break your mind of all the misconceptions of you think why you can't do this business or why you're having trouble and all that stuff, and just kind of call you out on your own mindset that is holding you back. So a little bit about my backstory is that I'm all in the health and wellness and fitness field. I have all the certifications. I did all the education, all that fun stuff. And I worked in the corporate world and fitness and everything, and I just wasn't bringing home a paycheck that I felt replicated all of my hard work. So I was actually at one point, I had to do a call on this a little while ago. I was supposed to go and work with one of celebrity trainers in LA. I was contracted out to do that. And the contract literally said, you do not have hours whenever they need you. If they need you to get up and fly somewhere, you have to get up and fly somewhere. And I'm like, I won't have a life. Like I kept saying, like, I just want to do what I do in like leggings in my like couch and talk to people when I want to talk to them and not when I don't. Like, does that exist? And my husband's like, no, so figure something else out. Beachbody was something that I just thought was gross. I wanted nothing to do with it. I thought it was very infomercially, like people in their basement dungeon, P90X, or like sweating in the gym called insanity. Like, that just wasn't, I was like, why would you electively do that to yourself in your home with no one pushing you or anything? I just didn't get it. As a trainer, I would be asked a lot about Shakeology. And I would always just say, I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's expensive. I knew nothing about it. I was just being ignorant. And all I had ever heard was that it was expensive. I didn't even know the price to it. Little did I know at the time, I was spending $10 more on my protein powder that I was taking because I thought it was really good and nothing ever happened. And it came to a point where I have PCOS, I have thyroid issues, I had infertility problems, and I know how to train to get results. I know how to eat, clean and everything, but my body just wasn't reacting to what I was doing. And I was getting really frustrated and overwhelmed. And it was to the point of like, okay, am I going to just have to figure out how to accept this? Because I was crying. Like, even like 2 weekends ago, I was crying in my closet like all over again. I think I gave my husband like PTSD because he was like, no, we've come a long way from this. And I still get in my head over things. But I've always been really insecure. I never felt I looked the part of what the effort I was putting into it. And I was on one day, I don't know if you heard my wake up call, I mentioned this, and Jeff really hung on to it, is my husband has a huge social life. I'm a little bit more introverted. He was at a bar league softball game. My boys were 5 months old at the time, and maybe a year, I don't know. And he came home, was probably loaded, and I was sitting there with like fecal matter and crap like all over me from a day of, like whatever. And I was like sitting down to eat finally, and he walked in, like looked at me. I was like, you need a hobby. And I was like pissed because I'm like, dude, you want to come at me with that right now after I just kept your kids alive all day? Like, really, you're going to come at me right now? But it stuck with me because it knocked me down where I was like, I don't have anything. I would order from Amazon Prime so I could talk to the UPS man because I literally had no one. Like my girlfriends, we would like talk about parenting, but like that was it. And so fast forward, and I go to Florida a lot with my family, and I went to Florida, and I had spent the day on the beach with my kids. My mom was taking pictures of me, and I came back and sat on the couch and scrolled through the pictures and deleted every single one. I was mortified. I was pissed at her for taking them at bad angles. And at that time, my coach I knew her in real life. And I'm someone that I had seen come and go Beachbody coaches. You throw your Hail Mary post out there. It doesn't get a huge amount of traction. So you just like dip off because you're embarrassed. And so I'd seen that come and go. And that just dropped the validity to Beachbody to me. Like I just was like, you guys are a bunch of hoaxy, scammy people. Like that's just gross. But my coach she was the only person that I ever seen consistently show up. And she had dropped an income post. And I was like, she can do it. I can do it. And so it kind of stuck with me, but I'm like, I'm not downgrading myself to being a Beachbody coach. It's not happening. And she had randomly reached out to me. Now, mind you, I have like 4 years worth of scripts that I share with my team that is from 4 years of being messaged about Beachbody. With me, with my health and fitness background, and I was always posting a workouts and stuff I was doing, I had it on my forehead, like Beachbody coach, like recruit her. And so I would always either do the dip and not answer you, and you'd see that I saw your message, or I would always say, thanks so much. I'm just not really into that salesy thing, but you look like you're doing awesome. Congratulations. Rooting for you, like something like that back, right? And she had randomly reached out to me at the right time. We had never talked about it before. She didn't follow up with me. I didn't have some pull towards her. There was nothing in me that was like, I'm going to be a Beachbody coach and she's going to be my coach. It was literally the right time at the right place. And I was in the right moment that she was like, hey, let me get you on the phone. Now, side note about me, I don't get people on the phone because that intimidates me. And I'm also someone that will buy anything off the phone. We have a $1,500 Kirby vacuum cleaner because someone came in our house and we didn't know how to get them out other than to buy it. So I'm someone that if you corner me, I'm going to buy whatever you have to offer just to get out of the situation. So she had gotten me on the phone, and I had said to my mom, who was sitting next to me, I'm like, don't let me do this. She's like, you're not going to do it. Like, you hate this thing. Like, I don't even know what this is, but you always talk smack. And one of my kids started crying. She went in the room, and 5 minutes later, she comes back, and I'm like, okay, I need your credit card and your social because you're signing up. Called my husband. I need your credit card and social because it's Wednesday night. Apparently I need to sign up 2 people before Thursday. It's 11:01, and I've got 59 minutes to make it happen. And so I was like that dream coach that you sign up on a Wednesday night and she pops Emerald that night and goes Emerald the next day. And when I did that, it was because I made a decision. One, I didn't want to do a coming out post, and I'm just being raw and real with you. I didn't know how to do it. I felt like I was selling out by doing it. And I knew that I was attracted to recognition. When I would see my coach getting shouted out, when I would see, things being posted that she was actually moving forward in the business, that's what intrigued me. Not just her showing up all the time. I wanted to see that she was successful, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to shout myself out, so I'm going to get shout outs. And I'm going to get as many as I can, as fast as I can. And that's what kind of kickstarted my brain. Also, the fact that I didn't want to be like the Hail Mary people I had watched. I didn't go into this to try to be successful. There was no end date. There wasn't, I'm going to try this for 3 months. There was no, let's see what can happen in a year. It was never anything like that. It was, I'm going into
Whoa, wait up 1 second. Does anybody else hear that? Yeah, it sounds like way gremlin-y.
Oh, why? I'm not kidding. Am I still like that?
It's weird. It just did it.
hold on. I'll jump
Okay,
on my.
you're good now. I don't
I'm
know what
good?
the heck just happened, but that was so strange. Okay, you're good.
Okay. So I just let me know if it happens again. I had made the decision to go all in. I made the decision that it was a non-negotiable to be successful. It was something that I wanted to prove right out the gate that I was going places, I was doing things, and my way of doing it was recognition. So I needed to know how I was going to get recognition. And I was that person that literally was like, okay, after we got off the phone, okay, I got Emerald, now what? And she was like, okay, successful. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do for that? Like, I had no idea what to do this. My coach we didn't have training. We had like a file section. I was like Googling. I wasn't reaching out to her. I was doing everything that I needed to do to figure it out on my own and figure out my own way. So for myself, I'm very recognition based. And so I needed that. And I needed that for legitimacy for other people before I could come out and say what I was doing myself. I wanted to prove like an underground, like, what's this girl doing? So they're reaching out to me. Mind you, I also want to remind you that my stepmother, my brother-in-law, my cousin, and one of my best friend's boyfriends all reposted within 1 month of me becoming a coach, bashing articles about Beachbody. Okay. And I took that, and we're normally like, people are like, oh my God, my family isn't like supporting me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, watch what's going to happen right now. And I went, it fueled me. It empowered me. And why? Because I had belief in this, right? It wasn't like I wanted to prove something. I wanted to prove the fact that this was legit and watch what I'm about to do with it. So when you see crap like that, like, go in your own mindset and be like, where's the integrity of this company and where's the integrity of these articles and like bogus people's, like, we all have smack to talk about different things, right? Don't get that ingrained in your head. Realize your purpose of what you're here and laser focused tunnel vision. Okay. So I use that as something to catapult me. And right now, my stepmother just asked me to get on Shakeology because and this is 3 years later, because she is trying to get in shape for her daughter's wedding, who her daughter is signing up with me next month to blow it up coaching. My cousin works now at GNC, but drinks Shakeology every day as a customer. So all of these things come to fruition. It just took time for them to realize the integrity that this company has, because all they had heard was hearsay. Like, right? We all at one point in time probably looked at Beachbody and was like, And now you're like, no. But guess what, guys? It's our job and our position to let people understand what we're about and what we have to offer, not believe what they came into this thinking, okay? So I wanted to go over some of my top tips, but that was something I really wanted to ingrain, and you're kind of going to hear that like weave into here a little bit on what my top tips are, because I'm very much so like, it does not matter what outside factors happen. I think everybody on here is a female. What we want, we can make happen if we want it bad enough. There is nothing you can tell freaking women locking arms that they can't do. So remind yourself of that, and I'm going to get into these. So one is, again, make a decision. You will be successful, not try to be successful. That's the same as your health and fitness goal. I'm going to try this workout program out. You already set an expiration date. You already led yourself to failure because you already gave yourself an excuse that if it didn't work, well, you said you were only going to try. What if you had in your mindset, this is a non-negotiable. There is no end date. I'm going all in and watch what's about to just happen. And trust me, stuff has crumbled underneath me like you wouldn't even believe, where I was like, I'm going to blow up corporate. Literally called my corporate rep and I'm like, which office are you in? Because that's the one that's going to get blown up right now, because what just happened felt like life altering, right? It's not. And I always say this when people get all hyped and I'm like, it's Beachbody. Like, are you that hot and bothered about this? Show up tomorrow. Like, get over it, move on. You are able to recreate yourself every single day in this business. That's pretty sick, right? I can swear, right? Stalk your own shit. If you are not stalking your stuff more than you're stalking someone else's, you're probably like imitating every single person out there. With the like 2B mindset launch with Lift Forward, do you know how many like copy paste like crap I saw? Like, it nauseates me. And I'm sorry if any of you guys do it. It's just like, be yourself, set yourself apart. That's where you get that like Stepford Beachbody coach thing going on. Be yourself, set yourself apart, and do things with your own spin to it. But stalk your own stuff. So one thing I do with my team is I'll say, roll call, drop them. And they know, take a screenshot of your Instagram and drop it and let's audit it. And I don't go into it saying like tearing people apart. I want them to humble themselves and look. And I say, I don't want to hear the positive. That's not going to help you grow. It's great if you are up and change this, whatever. But do I see a transformation in there? Do I see fluidity in the pictures? Do I see some that are close up, some that are far away? Do I see different parts of your lifestyle? What, by looking at it, do I get to know from you? if every picture is like a funny face, I'm gonna be like, girl, I want to see you pretty. Like once in a while, like we are in a social media world, your shit's got to be pretty. And I don't mean like you have to be all done up, but there has to be a fluidity with it. And that's something like every Friday, like click a screenshot, look at it and be like, would you follow you and why? And not at the content and the words and how passionate you are and things like that, but people aren't reading that. They're going to look at your social media front and be like, do I want to follow this chick? Do we vibe? What about her is me? So unfortunately, that's the way that you have to audit your stuff, is not by how profound information you're putting out there, but how quality of pictures that you can take. Number 3, and this is like probably my number 1, and you guys are going to like eye roll over this, clean your damn screen. There is 2 seconds to do this before you take a picture. There's so many times it drives me mad with like a cloudy picture, or like you go, the window's behind you and you take a picture like this and it's like muffled. Like find your lighting, clean your screen. And even if you're like, it's not dirty, it's dirty. It is always dirty. So make sure you clean your screen. Consistency, showing up all the time. Like if not, like I'm like all about IG stories right now. I've actually like kind of yelled at myself before this, because I'm like, for the last 3 days, like my IG stories have like bored me. So I know I have to do something to ramp it up. And it's okay if you have like off days, but if you're consistent, let your people know what they're coming to your account to find, right? Make sure you're taking them on a process with them. Make sure your social media isn't just a running challenge group of one. What I mean by that is if every day you're posting like, did my shake, did my workout, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. You're not taking them on a journey. You're holding yourself accountable, which is awesome, but you got to give that why factor, and we're females, so we go by feelings and emotions. So share that with them. Get them ingrained into what's happening. Get them on this journey with you. If you're doing lift 4, which everyone should do, and I'll get into that, for 8 weeks, right? Take them, and don't do day 1, blah, blah, blah. Take them and, oh my gosh, today I crushed legs. I'm so stoked to get into these pair of jeans. Like, watch me or join me. Like, I can't even wait. Show a picture of the jeans. And those people are going to stalk you again to see if you got in the jeans, right? Take them on a storyline. If it takes 30 seconds or longer, walk away. This is something that I have to catch myself all the time, because I want to be more philosophical, or I want to reach more people, or I want to talk to a specific person, or I want to do these things, and I'll sit there forever trying to come up with a caption. And if it takes longer than 30 seconds, it's not you. You're trying to be somebody else. You're trying to talk like somebody else. You're trying to come up with fluff that's just going to come out boring. Your first instinct, that should be written out. The way that you talk, everything should be, you, right? The first thing that you write should be something that catches someone's attention, right? So like, oh my God, I can't even believe that just happened. Boom, someone's going to read what else you have to write, right? But make sure, this is with anything, even a conversation that you're going to have with somebody, where you're talking about coaching, you're talking about your challenge group, if it's taking you a long time to get your words out or to formulate what you want to say, take a step away. That's the beauty of our business. You can take a break and come back fresh, revived, and go after the conversation. Have a vision. I never knew I was like a visionary person. Like when everyone's like, your vision boards and have a vision and talk to people about vision. I'm like, I'm not dreamy. I'm not like, that just isn't my thing. And I didn't realize that I have always had these visions, but I always called them goals because they just sounded more hardcore to me. And so I had these goals in my head, right? And what did I do? I then reverse engineered how to do it. And I kept hearing coaches say like reverse engineer. I'm like, I have no idea what that means. I also didn't know what the back office meant for like my first 6 months. I'm like, where is this back office? I know how to log into Team Beachbody, but I didn't know what a back office was. Like, this is how like me building on knowing absolutely nothing. But as far as like reverse engineering, I didn't get it. And then I was like, oh, when I set a goal and then I had to figure out what it's going to take to get there, that's reverse engineering. That's critical. If you have a goal to go part-time, go full-time, hit a certain rank, you can't just go there. This business does not grow organically. It'd be awesome if it did, but it also wouldn't be as fun because we wouldn't be as creative. We'd be little robots, right? So reverse engineer what it's going to take to get to that goal and make it a non-negotiable, right? Go all in after that goal. See what you can achieve. One thing, I want to end it on that. Okay, so another thing is be bold. This is something, I don't know what you guys do is for inviting and stuff like that. Our team is kind of adapted because I am uncomfortable with small talk and inviting and doing the whole like forming process first. I do the forming after I have them interested. That's just my style. But our team has come up with this be bold concept of people know if you're a consistent coach, if you are showing up every day, if you are rolling into somebody's inbox, they know what you're there for. You're not there to compliment them and ask them and catch up with them, right? They know what your intention is, so give it to them. Like, girl, I'm not even going to lie to you right now. I'm not even going to play around with you. This is what I have going on, and you need to be in there. If somebody messages you, what workout are you doing? Oh my gosh, one you would crush. Do you want to do it with me? This is something that even when we're talking to coaches or talking to customers about potentially like purchasing a challenge pack and stuff, and this all came from one of my coaches who literally, like, she went on the team page. She's like, I went diamond. I don't even know what that is. I literally was like, place them here, place them here, place them here. She just didn't know. She's a brand new coach. And we asked, like, what are you doing? And she's like, I don't know. I'm just telling them what to do. When you're a female and you're talking to other females about like buying a pair of jeans, you don't go into the quality of the jeans, where they're manufactured, everything. You're just like, do these jeans fit amazing? You need to do this. And if you don't like them, just return them, right? That's how we kind of talk about challenge packs. We're like, okay, I'm going to lock you in the exact same thing that got me the results that you're asking about. This is what you're going to do. Here it is, right? And you can answer questions later. This is just what's working for us. And it's a different technique of just being bold and being forthright, and not, if you feel like you're being salesy, you probably are. If you feel like you're word vomiting, you probably are. So simplify things. Talk to it like you're talking to a girlfriend. And if you are confused about that, then have a script ready that you've written out, that thinking that you're talking to your BFF of how you would describe your challenge group, right? Like, I don't even say like it's an accountability group. Like, I'm like, dude, it's an underground fit club that you like totally need to be a part of. You like walk in and like the support like smacks you in the face and you're like, what just happened to life? Like, and I kind of describe it as this like amazing atmosphere. And then they're like, yeah, let me in. It creates that FOMO vibe. They don't know what tools they're getting. They don't know what what they're required. They're like, just tell me what I got to do. I'm like, okay, you need to get locked into this, and it's going to straight like slay life. You're going to have everything to get successful. And if I'm like, and this sounds really barfy, but I have to tell you because it takes away the fear, money back guarantee. So if anything, do it for 30 days. I would love you to just have this amazingness in your life for 30 days. And if you don't want it, send it back. But I will tell you, you'll be my second person to ever send it back. And the first person was because, and I'm lying a little bit, but I'm like, the first person was because, and this is a true story, the husband was mad that the wife lost 13 pounds in 21 days and felt insecure. And I'm like, and for that sake, F him. So that's how I always end that conversation. And then the one thing that I really want to drill in is, are you the coach that you would sign up with? And this is something, I have coaches that I call my all-in coaches, that every other month, I'm all in now. I'm coming back, and I'm like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, all right. And I'm someone that I match your effort. So if I see you running, girl, I'm going to be running right next to you. I am 100% here to support anybody in any type of way. But when it comes to business and my time, none of us have time. So you want to spend time with the people who are moving, right? So this goes with your business. This goes with your goals. This goes with life. This goes with everything. Are you the person that you want to sign up with? And I want you to think of it this way. This isn't that you know that you're so passionate. This isn't that, oh my gosh, I know that I could get you these results. I'm obsessed with these programs. Like, this isn't your feelings. This is how they see you. This is how you're representing yourself. This is just your storefront, which is your social media. This is how you're carrying on a conversation or reaching back out to them. I have no problem, and I heard Amy Silverman say this once, that she reaches out until, or follows up until someone blocks her or tells her to stop. And I was like, whoa, calm yourself. Like, that's craziness. Now I've taken that philosophy, and I will follow up with people and say, listen, girl, you came to me and told me you had goals. I am now invested in your health. I am now holding myself accountable to make sure that you reach that goal. So I don't care if you mind or not, I'm coming back for more. I will keep coming back month after month to invite you to what I have. And one of these times you're going to be really stoked and we're going to change your life. Until then, hey girl, knock, knock, here I am again. I'm straight up honest with people, and I'm someone that I am invested in your goals. My job is to get you goals. And if you come to me and you say, oh, I feel like crap, why wouldn't I come back to you and be like, girl, I have the opportunity to get you out of feeling like that, right? And if somebody comes back at you any negative way, are you really going to take offense at the fact that you were providing them a bomb-ass opportunity? They got pissed about it. You can't be mad at that. You can't be frustrated or defeated at that. That's on you, girl. I'm probably going to follow up with you next month because you're miserable AF, and we could have a solution for that, right? So think to yourself, look at your storefront, look at everything, realize what you're putting out there. Are you being consistent? Are you showing up? All of those things, because I know for myself, I'm not going to sign up with a coach that is bleeding Beachbody Blue and only shows up once in a while. I want to ride or die. I want to know someone's not going away. And you can put that out there on day one. Like, you can start showing up on day one, and, I say, walking the talk before you can talk the walk, right? You start acting like you are a top coach, that you are like have the best boot camp in the whole wide world, right? Before you actually have one. And it's going to gain this loyalty and trust with people. So that's something I want like everybody to take away, like at all times when you think you're all in. No one's ever all in. There's always something more we could be doing. So one up your own game, level up your own goals, and go after it with action. And then the last thing I just wanted to chat was like Lift 4. I was in the test group. We have 1 week left. And I want to just talk a little bit about running challenge groups with Lift 4 and what I'm finding in my own mind of the shift that I have to do. I'm very, very active in my challenge groups. That's where I've branded my challenge group. So I don't ever say like, rarely do I say my boot camp or my challenge group. Like I always say like Epic Shred. So then people are like, what's Epic Shred? And I'm like, oh my God. So I align myself with Beachbody. I'm not Beachbody. That's something else that I've used as code words so that, when people are like, I'm a Beachbody coach and it puts like a persona on you right away. I want to break that down and not even let you judge me before you can see what I have to offer. But with Lyft that I found, and I've never been in a test group before, and I've actually never even been in a challenge group before. I'd asked to be in one, and I was never put in one. So I didn't even know how to run one. So my idea was, okay, I know that I'm not someone to like and comment on anything. So that's also something I have to think about with inviting, and that's why I had to break through inviting, because I won't like or comment on anyone's stuff. Like I'm working on that now. But so I know that my people don't like and comment my stuff. So I have to go and find them. Like the people that like and comment my stuff aren't my vibe. So I have to go and fight. So that's something that broke me out of that barrier. But I know that what would I do to show up in a challenge group? What things would get me to prompt? And so when I got put in this Lift 4 challenge group, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stay by the backside because I still like, I'm super like, as much as I like all in your face, I'm like really timid around people. And especially like in the Beachbody world, I'm still in that, like, I'm just a little minnow and I'm just like, hi, like Joan. Like, I don't even think I spoke to Joan when we went to Britney Spears. Like she was on there and I was just like, the cool kids down there. And I'm just like over here with Chris. Like he just came to be with girls. So that was it. But so for myself, when I was in the challenge group, there's like all these big names. And I'm like, I am not like showing up in here and posting and being like, yeah, it's me. And there's all the people that are like fanning over Joel and is like, just wants his attention and it's just not my jam. But I found that when they were posting about upping their weights or I didn't do this modified, when I was like, okay, I could do that. Because I'm competitive, right? So with Lift 4, what I'm going to tell you is the breakdown is going heavy. Going harder. You going from hour-long workouts to 30-minute workouts. So you got to leave it on the floor. So the vibe you want to create in your challenge groups is that pressure competitive nature without it being competitive. So talk about what you're doing. Take your people on the journey. Get gritty with them and let them know. And say, hey, listen, I just upped my weights. I can't even believe I did that. Who wants a challenge and try to up their weights? They're going to see results if they're improving. And here's another tactic is at the end of it, because I will tell you, I'm pretty sure that I've either maintained or lost maybe 2 pounds, but my results have been like sick. Myself at the end of this, if I was like a boot camper and I was someone who was like heavy on, the scale and caring about the scale, I'd be so defeated. It didn't matter what I looked like. I'd be so mad at like the scale didn't budge, right? So this is something at the end of it, you can be like, girl, how much are you lifting now? What did you start with? How many modified push-ups are you doing now? This program will humble you, right? Like you will be straight up G.I. Jane at the end of it in like the best way possible. I'm telling you that push your people to get different weights. Talk to them about upping them. Tell them how it can, and get that competitive nature. Get a stream going like, what did you lift for chest today? And then keep track of it. And then like later be like, girl, shout out to this. Like we're all about recognition, right? Shout out to this girl who upped her weights, blah, blah, blah. And like, these are different pieces you can do in your challenge groups that I tell you will empower us as women, make us feel better, and get out of just the scale. Even though 2B is amazing and 2B is like awesome with this, this is a way to tweak their mind frame to their strength, to their ability, to breaking what they, used to think that heavy weights were going to make them bulky, and let them know that, literally, like the empowerment you feel after this workout, you're like, watch out what I'm about to do. And it's 30 minutes, like anyone can like slam it out. That's something I just wanted to note because it was something that I wrapped my own head around, that from never being in a challenge group, I hold everybody accountable. I do this, that, and the other, but I don't create that like knit vibe of like, we're all doing this together. Like, let's push each other. Like that's really, cause you could easily do this program with like 5 and 8s and just go through the motions, right? What happens if you challenge yourself? And I will tell you that if you're struggling in your business, or if you're at a stagnant point, or you're questioning things, you get results from beginning to end. One, no one can doubt a transformation. No one's going to come at you about your transformation, and let people take them on this journey with this. This will empower your business, because the no's won't matter, because you are so freaking fired up over what you just accomplished that nothing anyone says is going to matter, because you're like, I'm just going to find people that want to do this with me, because this was insane. Like, I don't even know what just happened in my life. And people will feel that vibe from you, right? Because we're females, the feelings, the emotions, everything. Create that in your business and just watch what will happen. But just know, anything is possible if you work hard enough for it. Anything in this business, I was someone that, like, I set out scary goals. Like 10-star was my goal. I put it in my team made me do a vision board. So they're like, all these top coaches are doing vision board. Let's do a vision board party. And I was like, bleh. And so we did. And so like, I put like my scary goals, like in a top corner. It's like super small. Like you wouldn't be able to see it unless I like told you about it. And I'd put 10 in the corner, but I didn't want my team to see it. And we literally, I'm going off topic, but I just want you guys to know what is really what's possible is I was sitting at 6, and there was a handful of people that were close. And then there was a bunch of people in my second CBC that were close. Not close, I say within 5. Okay, that was our goal, was if you were within 5 coaches, and we had 11 days to make it happen. So every single person, there wasn't anybody who was 1 to 2 coaches away. They were all like at least 3 to 5 coaches. And I'm like, I'll tell you the real story. Jeff Matthewson got me on the phone, and he's like, I don't want to say this to you because it might hurt your feelings, but you were the last person cut from being a summit speaker. Now, I didn't even think, I'm not poised enough to be on the summit stage. So I wasn't even thinking that was like a thing. And I was like, okay. And he's like, we like you, blah, 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 all this stuff. And he's like, but rank does play a matter. And even though you have diamonds spread out all over, your first CDC, blah, blah, blah. And I started getting pissed because it was, again, one of those, you need a hobby. And I was like, it was another one of those, was watch what I do with this. Watch what happens. So I messaged the people that were close, and I said, you guys, we need to go for 10. And you want to go for 3 or 4 my second? Who's in? And they're all love this stuff. And they're like, let's do it. And I'm like, we're going to sniper attack it. We're not going to say anything. We're all going to go hard. And we held each other accountable. And we fired each other up. And guys, in 11 days, it happened. Did I ever think that was going to happen? Did I ever anything? No, but it's possible if you have the mindset, if you put the fun behind it, if you realize the potential of what this business can do, you can do anything. And I don't know, I'll end it here. But if anybody on this team is pushing for diamond right now, because it's usually, let's get to diamond, let's get to 2-star, let's go. And diamond's at first, diamond is not a landing mark. Diamond is a launching pad. Diamond is something you hit and then you fly, right? But people look at diamond, and it's created this huge, lofty goal of diamond, I gotta get there. Guys, diamond is your dining room table at Christmas. You look at your dining room table at Christmas, there's at least 12 people there that need your help. So if you look at that group of people and you're like, you know what? I could help every single one of you. And those people you're probably scared to ask, when I call them your Uncle Charlies, you're people that you don't want to ask, but you know that they could either the one girl on my team got to diamond, she signed up 5 of her uncle or her dad's work people that we said did a test group for bars for 2 months. We're like, hey, you want to do a test group for bars for 2 months? You just eat them every day until it's you they all love them. They're staying on them. She's holding her diamond. There's ways to make things happen if you want it to make it happen. So if diamond's something that you are running after and grasping after, and it feels like this, get creative, figure it out. If you want to make it happen, you can have it tomorrow if you want. If you had that fear, your hair was going to fall out, your house was going to burn down, you were going to lose your job, all these things, you'd be knocking on your neighbor's door and be like, I ain't got sugar, but I got Shaco. What flavor do you want? Right? You would make this happen. So guys, whatever your goal is, make it a non-negotiable. If anything, don't make our business as a whole look like I used to believe it was. Don't make people question what we have to offer because you're scared of what's possible that you could do. So that's it. I'm done. Yeah.
Yay! That was so good. It's so good. I'm
I get too fired up and then I won't stop.
That's all right. You did exactly what I do, where you're like, I'm not going to plan a call, and then I'm just going to be like, brah!
Yeah, watch out, I'm coming.
Because you're passionate about it. And so
Yeah.
that's what shows up. And, you're absolutely right within all of that. I mean, we're talking about how we went back to 10-star on our team, and, we had some diamonds fall off. We need to get people back there, but it is a decision. I mean, we signed 8 people in one day under my mom. That's it's totally doable. So, I mean, you see these people who are, I guess here's like this, you see these people who are, you know, I want to go diamond, and then years into their business and months into their business, they're still falling from emeralds. You know, what's your advice to them? And I know that on your, you know, your national wake up call, you did talk a bit about like the fear behind it. And really, I do think that it all is fear. It all leads back to that, like as to why people aren't progressing in their business. But how the hell do you just get the F over yourself? And like, what do you do?
One is like the FOMO vibe. Our team is like huge on FOMO. And so just getting people around. And I am very much so like, if you aren't willing to put in the work for it, you have to hold yourself accountable on that. Somebody had asked me recently, like, what do you do? How do you push people that hit 2 and 4, like Success Club? And like, we know, like, when you get a 4, it's like, dude, buy something, like get yourself, like, how do you not get yourself to Success Club? And I was going to answer with that. And I corrected myself, and I'm like, there's some people that are okay with 2 and 4. There's some people that are okay with falling out of emerald, right? Those might not be your people, but they're still your people, right? And you got to match them with where they're at. And you have to get to the point, and this is something really hard for me because I'm such a hand holder. And I've had to really rein myself back and be like, if you're okay with that, I need to be okay with that. If you want more than that, I will hold you to a standard of more than that. But if you don't reach that, I can't push you for your own business. I have my own business to work for. But if you're saying, like, again, if you're like, I really want this, and you're not showing up and you're not doing this, you have to recognize that yourself, humble yourself, and be like, where is the disconnect? What do I need to do differently? One thing, I don't remember who said it, but I made it in a chart now. I had to figure out how not to do calls with like everyone because I was working with people who weren't really working. They just wanted to chat. And so whoever hit Success Club the month previous, I put them in a group, and they get to schedule a 15-minute, we do like power speed dating calls. And they come to the table. I don't have anything to say. They come with, what is your goal? What is going to hold you back from your goal? How are you going to get over that? What's your plan? Wow. And that's what it is. So we literally, I'm like, all right, what's your goal? How are you going to get over that? What is going to hold you back? Like all that. And they knock it out, and they have to hold themselves accountable. And I know if you're not going to show up for the call, you're probably not going to be working your business, because I know that if my coach offered me calls, I'd be on them left and right because I had questions and I was sick of FAQ and Googling it. And I'm like, if I could get her for like 10 minutes and just like drill every question. So for myself, Sarah Molnar.
Oh, okay.
So for myself, I'm very much so like, you do you, girl. I'll do what I can to support and do, like, I will provide you like silver platter. This is how you can get success. You take what you want from it and run.
Yeah.
But it took me 3 years because this has been a lot of like, oh my God, you're like 10 BV away from emerald. Like, can you believe it? And be like, order something, please. And then I was like, you know what? I'm on this path of find new people. I'm always like, find new people. And eventually people will stick to you and you're like, oh my God, you're like my best friend. Where did you come from? You just never know.
It is. As much as people want to say like it's not, it is a bit of a numbers game. And like when I look at it, you know, when I see somebody telling me like, oh, I'm a failure because, you know, I haven't been able to get other people to start building, or I haven't been able to get somebody else to diamond, or any of those things, I'm like, okay, let's look at numbers. Like, let's literally look at numbers. And you can see that like, I've made an average of like 150, you know, like signups a year or whatever. And you've signed 6, like, you know, like, let's look at that and just see, you know, what the numbers are. Do you make Success Club consistently? How many? Are you just making 5? Or are you making 10? Like, and when you look at that and break it down, I think it was like Lindsay Matway. It was just super eye-opening, that one summit where she's like, I lost 88 diamonds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That hurt. That hurt me.
It hurt me. I'm like, I've lost 10 and I'm complaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when you look at the numbers and you see, oh, she's 3-time or 4-time freaking 15-star and I'm 10 and 1, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Right.
So very cool. I think that was a great call and you fired everybody up. And anybody have any questions?
Just get it done.
We're all going to Summit and it's going to be so
Yay. Yeah, that's a game changer. That was like I went to Summit, again, I'm like recognition. So I had signed up May something, and then you had to qualify in like 3 weeks for Diamond. I'm like, I'm not going to go there. Like, I need to be Diamond. Like, that's what has to happen. So I like got it. And then when I went there, I saw everybody walking across. And at that point, they used to make a really big deal about Elite. And so I was like, oh, I need to walk across that stage. So that was my goal. So I'm like, I don't know what it takes.
Wait, So was your first summit Nashville?
Yeah, the first Nashville, not the second.
Yeah, they did make a big deal of it.
Yeah, and everyone like walked across, they announced their name, and then I got there and it was like herded cattle, and I'm like,
yeah, because that other year at Summit, the one where you were first time elite, I was like, are you kidding me?
yeah,
Like,
people
my
were
husband
really
was
mad.
sitting in the first row and did not get a picture of me because it was so like cattle driven.
Yeah, it was bad.
Did you get your email today? We won't say anything about it, but did you check your email in the last like hour?
No?
Go check it.
What? You can't say stuff like that.
Well, you can't share it here, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, wait, I just saw that yeah.
You get ready, homie. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time. I can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
I know.
Whatever it is. And guys, like, re-listen to this call. It'll fire you up. Get at it. Success Club before Summit. Do it.
Yes, lock it in. 100%.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, bye. Thank you.